Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to this week's video. And I gotta be honest, I didn't have one single clue what to record on this week until I made my post on Instagram today. And I just wanted to riff a little bit about, when shit hits the fan and the dust settles, what do you do then? So I don't know if you guys have this issue, but I sure do. Walking this spiritual, metaphysical, personal development, self-improvement, self-care path, whatever you want to call it, right? Um, when we go through these experiences that are so, kind of shaking to our foundation, dust settles, things are clear, we've got all these new insights, we feel better. There's a little hair sticking out there. I just got a haircut and I'm not really thrilled with it. Anyway, the dust settles and then we're like, oh, what do we do now? Now, me, because of course I have to be a little extra. I'm like, oh, then I need to up my game and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. I gotta read this stuff, I gotta practice this. All of these things. I wanna be like really grandiose because I wanted to get this momentum and just build it up. And I think part of that has to do with being scared of kind of falling apart again, when things happen. And I think, it was funny because I gave myself, so 2 weeks ago, for those of you who know me, I got the rejection from HarperCollins regarding my book proposal, which was, not the best of news. And then my kitty Logan, who y'all know is the love of my life, came down with pancreatitis. And I'm very schooled now on how to treat pancreatitis, but I had no freaking clue what to do. And, when it's an animal or a baby, they're helpless because they can't talk. So I was like so overwhelmed. So that was that first week. And then the beginning of the week, I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to give myself a break. I'm not going to push myself. I'm just going to do my typical morning meditation, workout, come to work, see clients, come home, watch my horrible TV, make malas, make bracelets, color, whatever, just keep it simple. Haven't touched anything on the proposal. Again, I'm leaving it in the hands of my amazing agent. And just chill, just kind of like let the dust settle. So the dust has settled. So now the mind is like, okay, what do we do now? And it dawned on me that sometimes the best course of action is to not take any action. And for me, how that worked out in this current situation, I know, profound, right? Because not taking action is an action. Not making a choice is a choice. And people forget that. So for me, not taking an action in this case was, I got used to this new status quo, I guess you could say, because not much has changed. Of course, in my head, I was already this HarperCollins author and touring the world and, getting styled and having interviews and being on The Ellen Show and being surprised by Channing Tatum. I had all of that going on, right? So in reality, nothing's really changed except for kind of like our hopes or my hopes and my goals. So in doing nothing, I was able to kind of recalibrate and just kind of see what was important to me. What was really important? Yes, this book deal would have been fantastic and all of this other fun stuff, but the reality is, going back to something I said a few weeks ago, going back to my why. Why do I do the things that I do? And it's really for the sheer pleasure of just doing them and whatever I can contribute to the world at large, whether it's my little pocket of Brooklyn or, globally someday. Fingers crossed. So really just, being in that state of acceptance and in that state of acknowledging what is. I don't have to like anything, but I certainly have to accept it because once I accept it, I could work with it. But if I sit in a state of disapproval, then I'm sitting in a state of disapproval and not really doing much of anything. And even that inaction is more of a stagnation than in action. I think stagnation is like there's like no movement, and in inaction, I think there is some movement in the sense of the parts are kind of falling into place on a very mental, emotional, spiritual level. I hope that made sense. It makes sense in my head. But lots of things make sense in my head that maybe other people don't really agree. But that's all good. But anyway, so those are really my thoughts for this week. It's a shorter video, but shorter isn't necessarily worse, unless you're in certain parts of New York City, and then they'll tell you otherwise. But anyway, if you guys have any suggestions on things you want me to riff about under 10 minutes, let me know. I'd be more than happy to oblige. So send me a comment here on my YouTube channel. Shoot me an email. I'm easily Googleable. So any of those things will work. So anyway, I will leave you with that thought of sometimes inaction is action. And sometimes we need inaction for the parts to kind of recalibrate and, start moving forward maybe a little smoother. Anyway, have a great week. Bye.